Hey, good morning. This is what Tuesday. I couldn't think. January the 30th. And where did this month go? Adjust my light here a minute. Seems like it's a little bright. You know. Uh, this morning, it's the moon looks pretty full, but it's going to be a lot fuller. Uh, well, I guess tonight is that the actual full moon. Um, So we're going to try to take some videos of that this morning, and it's cooled down a little bit. Let's see if Google can tell us what the temperature. What's the temperature in DeLand, Florida? Oh, she didn't talk to me. Oh, I know she probably did. Uh, I've got it says it's 47 degrees. I've got a microphone plugged into here, an external mic. You can see a little lap mic on it, and so she probably didn't. I couldn't hear her back because it does the earphones off. Anyways, so what's everybody up to this morning? It's 6 a.m. We did one yesterday at 8, and was hoping maybe a few people would come on board, but a lot of people watched it afterwards, but didn't have really anybody stop by to chat with us. So we're after trying to get people to chat with us, and get some good coffee conversations going. I don't know if everybody got their coffee. I've already um, drank mine about an hour ago. So I get up and I was putting up the today's vlog. Got some cool model airplane flying, RC airplane flying, some pretty neat 3D stuff on it, and that's what today's video was. This one guy out our Feinfeld, he's pretty good at. I mean, he can flip a plane around and make it do all kinds of cool things on it. Um, Over the weekend, my two live chats, for some reason, they post afterwards and you can watch them. They got deleted. I don't know what's going on, but I made a change. I think I know what it was, and I made that change today. We'll see if we lose any more. I don't know what's going on, but uh, that's what happened. You get it's kind of like this good morning thing there. I was have them on like every day there and go back and see what I was doing and what everybody else was doing each morning. So, but I lost the weekend one, so I think I fixed it. We'll find out here and see how it goes on it. Um, yeah, I was thinking of uh, cars, different cars. What was your first car? The I had a 1963 Comet, and I've talked a little bit about my Comet before, but everybody's had a lot of different cars throughout the years. I've had my few. How many new cars have you ever owned? Um, we got this car we have now is noon, brand new, and I got I had a Bobcat, a really cool looking Bobcat. Bobcat was a economy car, and it was uh, got a brand new one that, and it was pretty cool. It was all decked out. It had like a sporty theme to it, and so that was a pretty cool. That was a new car. I had a Duster, a brand new Duster. Cassie came in to see me. You're cold. You're shaking, aren't you? Look at this. Yeah, she's in here. She goes, "Oh, it's cold outside," and her feet are wet and all over me. So, but yeah, I had a Duster. Was a brand new car. Ordered it. It was black and had red interior. It was a good looking car. Um, so that was one. I was trying to think any other new cars that I had. I haven't had many brand new cars. That might have been it. And some people are real car people. Um, I'm not a particular car people. You got to have a car to get around, but I'm not a one that just that's everything. I'm into cars. I appreciate some good looking cars, especially older ones. Like that Comet I had, that '63 Comet. If it was in top shape and I had it today, I mean that thing could be worth $30,000. You know, uh, and back new, I don't think they sold it less than $2,000 brand new. because they were an economy car, and so I didn't. I don't think they really were very expensive back then. But yeah, cars are interesting. They have a big car show over here at Daytona at the Speedway every Thanksgiving. It's called the Turkey Run. They get thousands and thousands of old cars. They just fill this infield of Daytona Speedway, and I went to a couple times. A lot of walking, man. I tell you what, you ever go inside that Speedway? There's a it's a big that's a big area. Sue's just now getting up. She's got her coffee. She's gonna sit down here on it. Cassie's still shaking. She's sitting here shaking away on it. There she is.
Morning.
So in the morning. I'm streaming on my laptop this morning. It's trying something a little bit different. I've got get Sue to turn her light on over there. Maybe there's some dark shadows on that side.
Dark shadows.
Yeah, dark shadows. But yeah, I don't know what it's looked like. I always watch my things afterwards to see what first stream I made on. But yeah, I thought I'd try something different. Yesterday, I got it sitting right here. This is a called a Smooth. It's a gimbal. How you can put your GoPro or your cell phone in it, and it'll
ukulele case.
Yeah, it looks like a ukulele case. Anyways, I'm doing a video on that. I started filming one yesterday, but this thing's pretty cool. It'll when you're walking around, you have your phone in it, and it's a gimbal. It keeps it from bouncing up and down, so it's pretty cool. Got that yesterday. Working on that, doing a daily vlog on that one there, putting it together. I didn't get a chance to test it out a lot yesterday. It got dark. Our mailman don't come till pretty late on it. We were laughing. It's like, if I've got something ordered and waiting for it to come here, you're excited. It's like Christmas, and when you do, it's like any other day, the mailman will be early. He'll come at 1:00 or whatever. But when you're waiting for something, it won't get here for 4:30, 5 o'clock. So, it's funny when you're waiting for something. Cassie's still got her itchies on it. She'll go through that. It's crazy. Good morning, Sue. I see her on our chat on it. So anyways, yeah, whenever you're looking for something to come in the mail, it's always, the mailman always comes later, on it. And yes, I made myself a little list here. It was like, you get on here and you go, I don't know forget what I want to talk. I think about some things, and then I forget what I wanted to talk about. And so I made a little list on it. One popped right in my mind right there. It's like self-employment. I don't know, has any of you out there been self-employed or have your own business? Leave a comment in section below. What kind of business and how many years and that did you were you self-employed, and would you recommend someone else be self-employed? Say a young person, would you recommend them start their own businesses on it? And I've got my thoughts. I've had 2 different businesses. Back in the 80s, I had a pet store in Worcester, Ohio. It's called Guppies and Things. And I enjoyed that business. It was a fun business. It was kind of like a hobby. And I turned it into a business. And I built it from nothing. My initial investment was $150. And I just kept turning it over and over and over and over and building it up. And when I started out, I had one little aquarium and I had fish in it, and I'd sell some fish, a few little supplies, and I'd sell those, make a little profit on it. I'd go buy double, then I have twice as much, and I kept doing that. And it took it just about a year, and I had about 150 tanks, fish for sale. I had a complete store stock, but I stocked it by doing that, and built an entire business of it. I ran that business for about 5 years. I enjoyed the business because, I liked the animals. I mainly had tropical fish, but I did have parrots. I did like birds. I liked the parrots, and I used to like to work with them and train them. And then I had the small animals. A big one was these dwarf rabbits. I could sell every little rabbit I could get a hold of there. And There's all kinds of different little dwarf rabbits. I had the typical mice and hamsters and gerbils and guinea pigs, and I had all those things. I didn't. I did carry the little like we have running around here, these little lizards. I did carry those, and it's funny. I used to get people would come down to Florida, and I'd tell them I'd give you $1 a piece for every lizard you bring me back. And they sold for like $6.95, $7. And so I could make a few little profit on those. But I didn't have snakes. I would guys. Worcester is a college town, kind of like DeLand, Florida, a little college town, and college kids are crazy. They wanted all these weird animals. They wanted snakes, and so they'd come in and want one. And what I'd do is I could order one. I could go pick one up, and when they shipped them to me, they put them in a nice box. They had some ear holes and junk in them on it. But what I do is I tell them they had to pay for them in advance. There was no returns, and I would just hand them the box. I'd say, I'll call you when I get back when it comes in, and I hand them the box, and it's yours. And I had this one guy named Dave. He was from Colorado, and he was a cool guy. I liked Dave. But he was ornery. And one day, I had sold him a steak. I think it was a reticulated python. That's what he bought from me. And he come in one day with the darn thing around his head. What could I say? I couldn't tell him to get it out of here. I sold it to him, but always wondered whatever happened to him. He was goofy, but he probably become a millionaire. He was like one of those guys that he goofed his way through college and ended up probably becoming a millionaire. I've seen the supermoon, and you can see it in the background. It's we're going to try to do some pictures of that tonight. So anyways, that was my pet store. And I said, I liked it. The biggest problem with running a pet store was the hours that you had to put in. They were too, you was just there all the time. And so I finally, I got tired of that, and I was offered a job in an upholstery shop, and I worked several upholstery shops, but I started my own upholstery shop in 1988. And I ran that for 30 years. That was what I retired from. And, it was a steady business. Did I make a lot of money? Absolutely not. They just, there's not a lot of money in upholstery. You would think it would. People think you make tons, but you don't make nothing, But recommendations, far as would you start your own business? I wouldn't. If I did it again, I wouldn't. For one, I know some businesses, I guess people can make a good income, make a lot of money on it. And other businesses, you just don't make that much. And I was always frugal as far as overhead and stuff. I had very little overhead, but you just hardly made much of a profit on anything. And then as years go by, when I was you can pay into Social Security when you have your own business, if you have the money to pay it in. And my business has never generated. It was enough just to make a living, let alone try you paying anything. And no insurance, no health insurance, no, you said you couldn't afford to pay it in. I mean, I worked several other places there, so I was able to get Social Security, but it's so small, it's absolutely ridiculous, So, unless you have a business that's going to generate a lot of money, and some do, some generate tons of money, but the ones that I had just never seemed like they generated much. You have certain amount of freedoms that you don't have when you work for someone else. Like you make your own hours pretty much, though. You got to maintain certain hours. The pet store, you had to kind of be the hours, whatever, when people wanted to come in. That used to was a funny thing. I don't know, it's funny. It used to irritate me. You'd have a day where nobody was coming in. It's just you wasn't busy all day, and you'd close. I was open till like 5. And it comes up a little after 4. It's like let's go home. I'm gonna close up. It's like nobody's been in all day. The next day, somebody will come in and say, "Hey, I was here about 4:45, and you were closed." Yeah, I know. Yeah, here I sit here all day waiting for one person to come in, then I hear about it because I closed a little bit early on. But yeah, that's the type of things that you run into having your own business on it. Sue's quiet this morning. She's usually chatting away at me.
Still drinking my coffee.
Oh, she's drinking her coffee. Here it is. Don't spill it on my computer.
It's almost empty.
It's getting there. So see, coffee chat. See, Sue's drinking her coffee, and hey, maybe this is why when people come online, they don't say much. They're busy drinking their coffee. That could be. Uh, so, anyways, that's like I say. I wouldn't to do again. Would I be self-employed? No, I wouldn't. You know, when anybody's still working out there, it's like you probably don't realize how much your employer really does for you. When you're self-employed, you get no vacations, you get no paid holidays, you get no health care. There's no benefits whatsoever. There's no bonuses, and these are things that a lot of people get, just don't realize they're a pretty big deal. When you don't have them, you see other people getting it. And Sue says, I always worked with other people in businesses. Yeah, when you were smart, though, you ended up with a better retirement than what I did. Doesn't mean I didn't work. I worked my butt off. It just, I guess I made a poor choice by being self-employed. Uh, and I said again, I wouldn't do that. But that's hindsight. Everything's still working out. I'm doing fine. I did get to retire. I always figured I never would get to retire, but I did. I'll be coming up on 65, and I retired when I was 62, so that's a great thing on it. I got tired. Retired. It's like no, it's not just retired. It's tired. That's why you do it. You're tired. On. I keep busy. I mean, I play around with my YouTube channel. I have a lot of fun with that. I have some RC stuff that I like to play around and fly with. Uh, I was able to collect all this stuff. I don't buy the high dollar stuff. Well, some of it gets kind of expensive, but I buy a little piece at a time. If I get a couple bucks, I'll buy something. I'm like a little kid. A little kid gets a couple bucks in their pocket and run down to the candy store and get a little something. So, I like these little gadgets. Most of them aren't expensive. A lot of things are. I've $5, $6, $10, a few bucks here and there on it, but fun little gadget things there. Uh, I get today I'm looking at my light. I think I look washed out in my lighting. I might have to change that around. Usually use it with the phone, and so it looks different. Susie, I was fortunate to have worked all my time at the state of Ohio at the Apple Creek Development Center, and then went to Cambridge, and then ACDC closed, so the ACDC. I don't like abbreviations. That is, I don't know what it is.
Apple Creek.
Apple Creek, okay.
Apple Creek.
All right. That's another little, I was about pet peeves. I hate abbreviations, LLL, I laugh out loud. People are always abbreviating everything nowadays. It's like, I hate abbreviations, and I know you have to deal with it because that's what everybody does. But it's like, sometimes like, what are they saying? What does that mean? It's like, we live in a code. I've talked about this before. It's you have to learn the new code to talk today. There's a new code out there, and so I do abbreviate stuff once in a while, but I try not to. I try to type it out, because I want people to understand what it is, So we'll. I'm saying I'm not a abbreviator's not my thing there. A lot of times when somebody abbreviates something, I'll have to go back and say, I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about, And I go, oh, okay, I got it. All right, but why not just tell it to me to begin with? I don't know. I think it's just kind of laziness to type it out. Now, I tell you what, I guarantee if I type it out, I'm going to spell it wrong, But if you can still understand what I meant, fine. If you don't, ask me, say, well, I didn't quite learn you spelled that wrong. Yeah, I know I spelled it wrong, but as long as you get the info, it doesn't matter. As long as you can understand what someone is saying, don't worry about how they spelled it, that's immaterial. That's just being petty. Sorry, my opinion. Some people are very fanatical. I'll get once in a while somebody will come on one of my posts, say I pronounced something wrong or I spelled something wrong. Oh well, get over it. If you long as you know what I meant. So that's another one of my pet peeves. Don't call me on spelling. Get over it. That's the way I spell. Anyways, I've today I said it's supposed to be nice today. We had rain came through. Was it last night? Was raining so hard? Yesterday afternoon. Yeah, it had a hard rain on it. Okay, it was in the morning. That's what it was. It did get nice in the afternoon. Yeah, it did get nice in the afternoon. So, see, hey, I'm gonna see if Google can tell me a joke. I don't think I'll be able to hear it because I've got this microphone in. But let's try if she'll do us a joke. Tell me a joke. What's brown and sticky? A stick. I have another thing. I'll have to put a little thing if I keep on using the laptop for my stream. I don't know about this lighting. I'm going to take a minute here at the end and move my lighting once. See if that, I don't know if that's much better or not. Just off the side there. It looked like it was bright. Anyway, that was an experiment. You were all a part of an experiment. All right, I try to keep my streams around 20 minutes there, and we're coming up just around 20 minutes. So this is Tuesday, and this is January the 30th. This month's almost gone. Where does these months go by? February beyond. Sue says bye-bye, and I'm going to say bye-bye. We'll see you guys all again tomorrow. Please subscribe if you're not, and give me thumbs up. So talk to you guys tomorrow.